Stellar Women, you're in for a treat. Join me as I sit down with Monica Harris from Cellebrite as we talk about creating safe spaces to learn, the changing landscape of short message, and the power of community. Enjoy. Stellar Women, please join me in welcoming Monica Harris on the podcast.
Hey, hi Blair, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have you on the pod. I've been seeing you on LinkedIn for what feels like forever, and now you're with me in the flesh.
And now I'm here. It's an honor. It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
So, Monica, I know that most people in the industry know who you are, but in the off chance they don't, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am the product business manager for Cellebrite Enterprise Solutions. So Cellebrite has a rich history with the public sector, working mainly with law enforcement, local, state, federal agencies, but Enterprise Solutions specifically caters to the private sector. So corporations, service providers, law firms, e-discovery, very much our community. So pretty excited about having the ability to kind of do that crossover of taking all of that technology. I think Cellebrite's been around for 24 years. We started in 1999 and bringing that to the private sector.
And you have a really deep background with working with Relativity, right?
I do. The first time I saw Relativity was 2007.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
A real OG.
Yeah, it's been some time, definitely.
So how has it been shifting in a way, or being the bridge between, e-discovery and Cellebrite as in this collaboration?
It has been amazing. I have to say, I'm one of those people, if you set a goal, I'm just thinking, okay, I'll just go do that and I'll figure it out later, right? It'll all come together. So I had been working with mobile data. It had been really challenging, just kind of understanding how to do it. I was looking for a position. I was with the FDA, contracts were coming up, that kind of thing. And so I saw Cellebrite and I thought, well, that's collection. And that's part of the EDRM, and mobile data is very trending right now, so I'll make that move. And then I moved very, very far.
And then the move.
And then the move. It's like, oh, this is a forensics company. Very much just e-discovery collections, but very deep in forensics. So it's been amazing. I love learning. And the last 2 years, I have definitely learned a lot from some great people who do their jobs very well, which enables me to do the same. So
yeah, I would say that you do your job very, very well. And
yeah.
it's been really cool to see you kind of go from behind the scenes to being a thought leader in this space. What has that transition been like for you?
It has been amazing. So I'm a product manager, so I work a lot with the development team and then also with the marketing team as well. But as we began to develop these products, the one thing that came across clearly was the need for education and just, having our audience understand the benefits, the capabilities. And so it was very organic to transition into that. It wasn't enough to say, hey, we've got this new product and it does X, Y, and Z. Well, folks would say, what's that? And why do we need that? And so it just kind of happened organically, just to help people understand what was happening at Cellebrite, how it could help them, why it was valuable, things of that nature. So
And Monica, I think I don't think I can keep going on with this podcast without saying it, but you create a really safe space
thank
in
you.
those education sessions where there is no dumb question.
Right.
Which
right.
is so important because I think it's for every hand raised, there are 5 hands that want to actually be raised.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I think it's really important as we navigate this new era of data.
Yes.
That we are making sure that we're creating those safe spaces so
Yes.
that the education can really take place.
Right. Thank you for saying that. I'm highly empathetic. Having
You are.
Yeah, been at Cellebrite for 2 years myself, I'm also learning, right? And so I understand a lot of those challenges. I feel that. And if I have the questions, then others have the questions too, right? And then Cellebrite also provides me with the opportunity to talk to people, understand I don't have to guess. I get to come out and talk to you. I get to come out and talk to the community. What are your challenges? What are the pain points? And then go back and develop content around that. So, but thank you for saying that. I like the idea of learning in a safe space. I think that's the best way. So thank you.
Yeah. And it's something that, I try to do, we do AI 101 for
Yes.
that's a workshop that we've done where we bring in a data scientist to be so let's break it down. What is a large language model?
Right.
Because sometimes in this industry, we can get caught up with the acronyms and the
Yes.
technical language.
Yes.
And rather than being like, hey, EDRM, what does that stand for? Like if
Right.
it's someone's first time at Relativity Fest, they're like, of course, the EDRM and the ACED and it's ACEDs. Like, right?
Right,
Like, so
right.
I really appreciate that space. And I also like, Monica, I really appreciate the representation in technology and in corporate America for Black women.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's so amazing for members of our community to see themselves in these positions of leadership. And this is I know that for your Benevity gift card, you donated to Black Girls Who Code.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
so is that being that representation, is that something that you consciously done and are seeking out?
It's something that happens organically. There's not a lot of folks in the industry that look like me. And then just generally, unrepresented or underrepresented populations. I'm very passionate about making sure that opportunities are there, that the door is open if someone wants to walk through it. All throughout my career, I was very fortunate to have people who did that for me. They didn't always look like me. But if there was a door that I wanted to walk through, but I was having trouble opening it, or maybe even just seeing the door, kind of like a Beetlejuice knock 3 times, draw, and then the
Totally,
door
a
is
room
there.
of requirement in Harry
Right,
Potter.
exactly, exactly. So people who opened the door and led the way, and when I asked what I could do, it was just a kind of pay it forward kind of thing. So for people who need that opportunity and don't have it, particularly for Black women, because in technology there are so few of us. There are so few of us, and in order to want something, you have to see it. Right? And so I think also part of the thought leadership, that's a part of it as well. So if you see it and that's what you want, then I'm very accessible. Let's have a conversation, and just make sure that people have the opportunities that are out there, really.
And I want to ask Monica about like the power of community.
Yes.
That's something that you've said has like gotten you to where you are today.
Yes.
How do you connect with your community? How are you able to do that?
That's a great question. And a tad bit, it's interesting, right? Because I'm here talking to you. You're with Relativity, and Relativity excels at creating community. We just left Fest, right? That is the
Yes.
Relativity community. Part of the ways that I stay connected with my community, you just have to be there. You have to be present. I think coming to conferences, just being on LinkedIn, inviting people to have conversations, it's a new time, right? So sometimes being present means being virtual, right? So having the Zoom conversation, having meetings when you can, that kind of thing. You have to be there. You have to show up in whatever form that takes. But I think that's a great way to stay connected. Yeah, and then also being engaged with organizations like Relativity, like ACEDS, like Black Girls That Code, all of that really keeps you connected to community as
And
well.
like Black Tech Queens that that
Yes.
Karima Campbell at Relativity heads up.
Yes, I just met Karima earlier this week. She reached out on LinkedIn, so speaking of staying connected, right? And I thought, wow, this is amazing. Black Tech Queens, like, yes, I am there. She's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that I had a chance to meet her and learn about everything that she's doing and connect her to my tribe, right? So I think that's really important, just to keep the good works going.
And Monica, I love what you just said. Connect her.
Yes.
Because I feel like we are in a new age of women in
Yes.
corporate America where we are no longer, at least in my experience, not put against each other as much in
Right.
competition.
Right.
And elbows aren't as much up as they are like open arms to welcome in a hug.
Yes, yeah, I love that. I'm very fortunate. There are a group of women in e-discovery. We are all connected. We're all supportive, and just there for each other. Whether it's, you're looking for someone that has a certain resource and you're trying to get something done, or maybe you just need to vent and a safe space, whatever it might be. I'm very fortunate to have that community of women. They were here at Fest. They know who they are. Thank you. Thank you for being my tribe. And then also for having the ability to continue to develop that and grow that as well. So
Definitely. And I think it's so important, and hopefully we can get you on the Relativity Fest stage soon.
that would
But
be amazing.
I think it's so important for, as you just said earlier, you don't know you want something until you see it.
Right.
You don't know that something's possible. My
Right.
mom tells this kind of heartbreaking story, but when I was in kindergarten, my uncle was asking me, what I wanted to be when I grew up, and he was like, doctor, lawyer, president, and I was like, well, girls can't be president.
How about that?
And my mom, I remember my mom's face. Like, I don't remember where we were, but I just remember, like, I knew that I had said something, like, wrong or shocking.
Right.
And my mom, we talk about it later, and she's like, my mom lost her mom when she was 9, grew up with 3 brothers. So, she's a strong woman, and she does everything. I mean, when she turned
Right.
40, that's when she started to, and I'm using quotes, I know it's not a visual medium, treat herself and get her oil changed and her air filters done by someone else.
Right.
So I think it was a moment where, my mom was like, whoa, like this has got to change, when it started becoming like, you can actually do whatever you want. And it's so important that it was an intervention at an early age, but I think it's happening earlier and earlier, but I think,
Right.
For older women, it's amazing to see like this change in like community, and like saying like, I can
Yes.
do that. I
Yes.
have a dream and I'm going to achieve it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I thank you for being that representation for people in our community and me. Like, it's so cool to
Thank
see you
you.
taking center stage and being technical.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then I guess I have to thank you as well for leading this podcast, for having this avenue open, right, for us. So thank you.
Yeah,
Same.
I love it. And what's on the horizon next, Monica? Anything?
Oh, the whole world is open. What's on the horizon next? So, taking the next challenge that's in the industry, taking the next challenge that's in personal life, whether that's how do we work with this new data source, Cellebrite, whether that's how to really kind of foster, promote, and create opportunities for women in tech. I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible, and I like challenges, so we'll see.
And I love your philosophy of everything will work out.
Everything will work out. Absolutely. It always does.
Well, thank you, Monica, for that advice. And thank you so much for spending time with us on the podcast.
Thank you, Blair.